It's my third day in the world's first national park. Today, I'm exploring Yellowstone's many waterfalls and going on an adventure to see wildlife with a potential grizzly bear spotting. You'll just have to see for yourself. Morning, it is day 3. Right now I'm doing a quick get ready with me. Yesterday I put sunscreen everywhere on my face except for on my nose, so it's a little bit pinker, just slightly sunburnt. I didn't even know it was possible for me to be sunburnt because it's never happened before, but it just looks like blush on my nose. I'm not gonna forget this today, especially on the nose. Yesterday when we came, the hotel's office was already closed, so they literally just left our keys in an envelope on the door, and they just taped it to the door. Where's the comb? On vacation, I've been sleeping with braids so that I wake up with curly hair, and sometimes I don't have to do much to it, other times I still do, and my hair is just not tamed, you know? Like the bison are not tamed as well. Sometimes I use this smooth shine serum just to help smoothen it out, kind of like it says. Don't ask why I don't have a portable charger. That seems very obvious in hindsight, but I don't even know if ours works at home, so I didn't bring it, but it definitely does. It's time for the window reveal. We are just taking a little walk in the town of Gardiner and looking around because it's so beautiful. We really wanted to soak it in because we don't know how late we're getting back today. We are standing in front of the Yellowstone River right now. There are so many rafting companies in Gardiner. This is probably, in the Yellowstone River, this is probably where they raft. Take a look. If you're interested in rafting, that's what you're gonna be in. That store was amazing because I actually got the pin that I wanted, and we got another souvenir and some chocolate. Maybe we'll do a little taste test later. Maybe. We are trying the first chocolate, the orange jelly. It's already been tried. Wow. How is it, Mom?
Orange is life.
That is so good. I have not tried, like, this flavor is familiar, but with chocolate, I haven't gotten a chance to try this type of chocolate in a while. Figaro hazelnut. What do you think?
Oh, very nice. My favorite. This is my favorite one.
And this is your least favorite.
We are trying the milk honeycomb. It tastes kind of like a toffee. That's what the inside looks like. And it has like a crunch to it, so. 11, make a wish. This is really unique. We are having the espresso truffle. This is so good. It makes sense it's called a truffle. I forgot though. Look at the inside. That's where the coffee flavor is. This is so good. We are at Roosevelt Arch. This is just a quick photo spot, and this was the original Yellowstone entrance. Now that we're done trying all those chocolates, we can move on to the next sweet surprise, which is that we are going to the Grand Canyon. Well, kind of. I'm not talking about the Grand Canyon in Arizona. I'm talking about the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. This is about an hour away from Gardiner. We have made a quick stop on the way because we saw these waterfalls on the side of this road. some of us are not getting so much vitamin D. I think traveling is all about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, so I decided to drive for a little bit. And honestly, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but to me it was, because I've never driven outside of Illinois before. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I was super nervous about this, but I'm so glad I did it because it was such a cool experience to be able to drive in a scenery like that. We are in the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone at our first stop, which is Artist Point. There's a north rim and a south rim. Artist Point is in the south rim. If you think this is fascinating, look at how much we were able to see with our binoculars. Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone is one place where you absolutely need binoculars because without it, the waterfalls look stunning, but with them, it looks breathtaking. We are doing the South Rim Drive and we're gonna take a turn at Uncle Tom's Point. On the way there, we stopped at the side to get a clear look of this lake. Just take a look at the reflection of the clouds on the water. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. We have made it to Uncle Tom's Point. As you can tell, it's a little bit colder, but the weather is always changing here. I don't know what's better, the sight of a waterfall and how majestic it is, or the sound and how peaceful it makes you feel. Right at the beginning of the trail, we saw the cutest deer. He was trying to cross to the other side, but there were too many people, so he ended up just going back. You can kind of feel some of the water droplets gently spraying on you. This is what it's like being Ash's photographer at my elbow against anything for the job, am I right? One thing about my family and I, we will start off at the same overlook as the other people and it will be completely full, but just in a couple of minutes everyone is gone. But what can I say, we have to get videos and photos, zoomed in pictures, look through the binoculars. It's a whole process. That is it for the South Rim, and now we're going to be moving on to the North Rim. We are going to the Brink of the Lower Falls, and this was the one I was most excited for. So many people had stopped by the side of the road, probably the biggest crowd that I've seen. So I asked someone what they were looking at, and they were like, there's a moose down there. We get a little bit closer, can confirm it was not a moose, but it was an elk, and it was still quite a sight to see. Oh my god! Talk about never having a dull moment in Yellowstone. It's unreal how massive a bison looks standing next to your car. We are doing the Brink of the Lower Falls trail so that we can see the brink of the Lower Falls. This is the moment we have been waiting for. We are at the brink and the anticipation was so worth it. This is scary, it's frighteningly beautiful. It's so beautiful, but all I can think about is what if I fell in and then I have to go down with the rest of the waterfall. That's just terrifying. I don't even want to think about it. waterfalls down there as well, which is like the cherry on top. Don't push me. This trail had a 600-foot drop, which also means it has a 600-foot elevation. And now we have to go uphill. It felt so good to go downhill, but I don't know about going up. Now that we are done with the brink of the lower falls, we are going to Lookout Point for once again another view of the waterfall. At this point, we've seen the waterfall from several angles. The first time I saw it, it felt like the most majestic thing I had ever seen. But the more I kept seeing it from different angles, it became more normal, almost as if the novelty of it had worn off. That got me thinking about the hedonic treadmill, this idea that we're always looking for the next best thing, that our happiness for one thing is temporary and it eventually goes down. I don't think it needs to be that way, so I've been reminding myself to stay present and notice the little things too. I think being grateful for these experiences has also taken away that sense of temporary satisfaction. This was not part of the plan, but we knew we wanted to do a trail near Lookout Point, and there's this one that we observed has steps that go all the way down. We are almost here. This is the moment we have been awaiting. Honest review, of course it's beautiful, but I thought it would be a little bit closer than it is. And yes, it's different than the other overlooks, but it's not completely different where it's like, oh my gosh, I could not have left without seeing this. And now it is time to climb back up. This is our last stop on the North Rim. We are going to the brink of the upper falls. We saw the lower falls before this. The brink of the upper falls was absolutely stunning. Since the upper falls are much smaller than the lower falls, it feels much more intimate. There's something so therapeutic about looking and listening to flowing water. Of course, it's all pretty and peaceful until you look down. We are headed to Hayden Valley. It's 20 minutes away and it's currently 7 p.m. I don't know how long we're gonna stay there for, but we really just want to see some animals today. Hayden Valley is one of the most popular places to see wildlife in Yellowstone. Lucky for us, the wildlife spotting started even before we made it to the valley when we saw this elk. Wildlife spotting is basically the equivalent of animal paparazzi. Another elk spotting in a place similar to the one this morning, so I almost wonder if it's the same one. We are making our way to see Yellowstone's wildlife. It is around evening time now, and the animals are much more active at this time. A group of deer halt by the lake. Evening is their time to hydrate themselves before finding food. On the right, a bison consumes tree leaves. It doesn't look like a lot, but on average, a bison consumes around 24 pounds of dry vegetation per day. We have finally reached Hayden Valley. The weather and vast valleys increase our prospects of seeing wildlife, but it looks like we're not alone. Welcome to Hayden Valley. All seems to be calm along the banks of the Yellowstone River. There's sudden movement in the grass. A lone coyote roams along the Yellowstone River. If he is looking for prey, he does not find it. Here in the river, the otter is safe. If it was on land, its fate may have been different, for a nearby predator lurks along the river. Eventually, he goes back into hiding, camouflaging along the gray valleys. There's an increase in wildlife activity at this time. Some are choosing to spend their evening grazing alone, while others are traveling in groups or herds. Maybe they're talking about the newest fawn in their bunch, or perhaps they're unpacking the latest gossip around Hayden Valley. We'll never know. This next creature was hard to identify. Our camera crew reckons it's a beaver, but there's no way to tell for sure. People said that they saw a beaver, but it's so hard to see because it just swam away. We just saw some ripples. That's literally it. We cannot see the beaver. Yes.
Whatever it is, it's hiding now.
It's hiding, so I really wanted to see a beaver. The possibility seems likely, given that one was in the water and one was on land. Just then, when you least expect it, a grizzly has been spotted a couple miles away. A couple people said that they saw some grizzlies just a couple minutes ago, so we're waiting here. Really? Really? Okay, wait, what? Just before the grizzly can properly be spotted, a bison comes far too close for comfort. After my dad spotted the grizzly bear, there were people with spotting scopes set up next to us, and they told us to walk away because they saw a bison approaching our direction, and so everyone picked up their things and had to go back to their cars essentially. It was just kind of funny because we were so busy trying to spot the grizzlies that we didn't even notice that the bison behind us had disappeared and ended up right there next to us. It could have been really scary, but we literally ran to our car. It's difficult to track her because she's far in the distance, a mere dot in the binoculars. The grizzly stalls at the mountain ridge, blissfully unaware of just how much of a celebrity she is down here, where everyone is lined up with spotting scopes and binoculars just to get a glimpse. The sun is setting on Hayden Valley. Most animals seem to have returned to rest for the night. This herd of bison seems to be heading towards another hill to sleep for the night. They will sleep on top of a hill to have a better view of predators. Then after that, when we were driving, we actually saw a black bear cub on the mountain. By this point it was dark, but that was definitely unexpected. It was actually our dream to see a bear on the road just to get the most authentic experience. So when we got that, it was the perfect ending to the day. At 10 p.m., a black bear has been spotted at the side of the road. Don't let its height fool you into thinking that this is a cub. Adult black bears average around 2 to 3 feet on all fours. Most bears wandering at night are trying to avoid people or other bears. I mean, technically it wasn't the perfect ending because then all of the curvy paths on the mountain just made me get car sick, and it was terrible, and I was just waiting. Like, when are we gonna get back to the hotel? The more animals that I see, the more I need them in the form of a stuffed animal, because I want to give them a hug, but I can't do that in real life. So the only way I can do that is with a stuffed animal, and at this point I need a grizzly bear, a black bear, a bison. I really want to see a moose because the moose plushes in the stores look so cute. After seeing several waterfalls and so much wildlife, can it really get better than this? I don't want to spoil too much, but I have a good feeling that the next day is filled with even more thrilling wildlife sightings. Mammoth Hot Springs. Oh my god. Lots of rain. It is raining and we can't remember where we parked our car. And, well, I don't want to give away too much, so you'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.